Hi guys, thanks for joining me again. A really quick tip today. This is like a little flash tip for you guys. I wanted to make sure you were all aware of being able to sync your edits in Lightroom. What I mean by that is you have a set of photos, you're in the develop module, making your adjustments, doing what you got to do to each one. Now, if you have, and generally we all have, kind of sets of photos that are in the same lighting condition, in the same position. So here I have these three that have all were all taken within a couple minutes of each other, same conditions, same setting, same everything. I did the editing to one, and now I want to be able to copy those settings over to another photo. Now, one way to do it, if I wanted to kind of keep these settings for future use, I could create a preset, which I've shown you to do before, and super easy to do. It's really great when you find a style that you love. But say you don't necessarily want to make a preset out of it, a really quick way to just copy these settings over to other photos is to sync them. This also works if you apply a preset to one photo. Say this is a preset I've applied to this photo, and I say, I don't want to go through and individually click on the preset for every single photo. Sometimes you have 5, but sometimes you have 50 or 100 photos. So it also helps to sync it up if you don't want to individually click on the preset. It's a way to save even more time. Let's look at how to do that. We have our edited photo selected, and I have two others here from the same couple minutes of shooting. Obviously, these haven't been touched up at all. So I select the one that's been edited. I'm happy with it. I want to copy these settings. And then I press Shift and I click on whatever the last one is that I want selected. So if I want the whole set, I'm going to click on the very last photo on the far right for that set because that's as many as I want to include. If I just want to include one, I click on the one before or after. You make sure that your original is the brightly highlighted one, and you'll notice here it's very subtle, but the original one is brighter than the other two. That means that this is your reference photo. When you have more than one photo selected, the buttons over here change, and this one will now say sync. So we're going to click on sync, and this pop-up appears. And this literally you get to select just with checkboxes which settings you want to copy over. So this is normally how I leave it because these are normally the things that I do want to carry over. If the photos are very similar, you may want to consider your local adjustments also being carried over, and then you can edit them and move them around. You may also consider the cropping and spot removal, but be really careful because these tend to be very specific to how that shot was taken. And chances are, if these are able to be copied over and still work, then you probably still have some narrowing down to do in your set because that would make those two photos very similar. Um, so once you have everything checked that you want to copy over and you made your selections, you go ahead and click on synchronize. And you'll notice down here your little thumbnails will change. So now if you click into the second one, there we go, it took an extra second. So you see that it's brighter, it's softer. Now clearly I didn't copy over the brushes, so we're going to do a little bit of smoothing out for the skin. Got a couple little red spots and some dry patches on the skin, which is totally normal on newborn photos. So things like that, maybe a little bit brightening of the eyes, and that's when you go into your saved brushes and you pick out the ones that are ideal for this. But you see that, and we'll do, let's see if it'll do the before after. So here's the before after, and this is just from syncing. It's only syncing it. So it just cuts out a lot of your work. Now imagine if you have 30, 40, 50 of these photos to go through, syncing it with literally one click of the button is a huge time saver. So here again is another one that's before and after, a little yawn. And again, it did all the edits for me, but I'm going to have to go through and do a little bit of the evening of the skin tone, but I saved myself so much time by applying those settings to all of the selected photos. So I hope this is really helpful. Don't forget to use that sync button, especially when you have large sets of photos for yourself or for clients. It'll save you a heap of time. I'll see you guys next time.